Have you ever stopped to think about what happens when two massive belief systems, two giant religions collide? Not with armies, but with ideas? Well, we're about to go on a really fascinating journey into the Buddhist map of the universe. It's a map so huge, so comprehensive, that it actually found a place for everyone. And that includes the gods of other religions. And believe me, what it did with them is, well, it's pretty mind-blowing.
So just look at this. On one side, you've got Ahura Mazda. In Zoroastrianism, this is the big guy, the supreme creator god, a being of pure light and goodness. And then on the other side, you have the Asuras in Buddhism. They're these warlike, power-hungry demigods, always caught up in some kind of conflict. But here's the absolute kicker. They're the same being.
And that right there is the central puzzle we're going to solve today. How on earth does a deity who was once worshipped as the ultimate creator of everything get recast as a belligerent, lower-level god? The answer to that question reveals this incredibly powerful and sophisticated way of understanding not just the cosmos, but religion itself.
To solve this mystery, we've got to first understand the mechanism behind this incredible transformation. It's a key concept, really, that allowed early Buddhism to interact with, and honestly, to absorb the powerful belief systems it ran into as it spread across Asia.
And that concept is called demotion. You can almost think of it as Buddhism's version of theological diplomacy. Instead of just showing up and saying, hey, your gods are false, the approach was much more subtle. It was more like, oh, your gods are totally real, but they're not quite who you think they are. They exist for sure, but they're just residents of a much, much larger cosmos. And guess what? They're trapped in the same cycle of rebirth as the rest of us.
And you can see exactly how this played out as Zoroastrianism's influence moved from Persia over into India. Phonetically, the name Ahura just sort of morphed into Asura, and this once supreme creator god was then placed into the Buddhist system as a demigod, defined by his endless war against the Devas, the traditional Indian gods. And why were they always fighting? Well, the Devas kept stealing the Asuras goddesses. But now, here's where it gets really wild. In the original Zoroastrian texts, that word deva actually means demon. So from each religion's point of view, the other guys were literally worshipping demons. It was this cosmic rivalry written right into the names of their gods.
So how could Buddhism just so confidently reclassify a supreme god like that? Well, it's because it had a framework, a cosmic map, where the most important thing wasn't power, or who created what. Nope. It was something way more fundamental, something that applies to every single living being.
Welcome to the realm of desire. In the Korean Buddhist tradition, it's called Yogye. And according to this worldview, this is the realm we all live in. It stretches from the deepest hells, up through the human and animal worlds, and all the way up into the lower heavens. And the one single thing that connects every single being here, whether you're a ghost, a human, or a god, is the presence of sexual desire.
The logic is actually incredibly simple. It's like a universal rule. Does the being in question have a wife, a husband, any kind of attachment to male-female dynamics? If the answer is yes, then it doesn't matter how powerful they are, they belong right here, in the realm of desire. And since Ahura Mazda had a consort, well, he was demoted to an Asura and placed firmly in this category. Simple as that.
But even inside this realm, there's definitely a pecking order. Buddhism created this really detailed hierarchy, organizing all the various gods it came across into a kind of celestial ladder. And it all starts with the 6 heavens of desire.
So here they are, the 6 heavens of desire. And you can see right away how major deities from other pantheons get slotted right in. Indra, the super powerful Hindu god of thunder, he becomes the ruler of the 2nd heaven. Yama, the lord of the dead, he gets to preside over the 3rd. It was just a brilliant way of saying, yeah, we acknowledge your power, while also fitting them neatly into a larger Buddhist truth.
Now, the 4th heaven, Tushita, is especially cool. It's described as a kind of celestial green room or a waiting room. This is where bodhisattvas, beings who are just one single lifetime away from becoming a full Buddha, reside before their final birth. And right now, it's said to be the home of Maitreya, the Buddha of the future.
So how does Maitreya spend his time there? Well, not in struggle, like Rodin's the thinker, who looks like he's wrestling with the universe to force knowledge into his brain. No, he waits in this serene contemplation, like you see in this famous statue. He's engaged in a totally different kind of thought, the practice of emptying the mind. Because from this point of view, wisdom isn't something you gain. It's what's left over when you let everything else go.
And as we climb even higher, the heavens get more and more refined. In the 5th heaven, you can magically create anything you want just by thinking it. But in the 6th, you don't even have to do that. Your desires are just automatically fulfilled by other beings. Think of it like a cosmic rocket delivery service, or Amazon Prime for your every whim. It's a world of ultimate convenience and pleasure, a perfect reflection of our own deepest wishes.
But of course, there's a catch. I mean, there's always a catch, right? For all their power, for all their pleasure, all the gods in this entire realm share one fundamental flaw. They aren't perfect, enlightened beings. They are something else entirely.
They're called sentient being gods, and their defining characteristic, which in Korean Buddhism is called yomyokshim, is a mind of likes and dislikes. What does that mean? It means they have preferences. They have favorites. They can get angry. They feel slighted. They play favorites. They are, in their essence, deeply and recognizably human-like in their emotions. This slide really just lays it all out. The sentient being God, it operates on a transactional basis. If you worship them, you give them offerings, they'll probably help you out. But if you forget about them, they can get upset. A bodhisattva, on the other hand, operates from a place of universal compassion. They help you unconditionally, simply out of a desire to end all suffering. And their ultimate wish is for you to become so strong and so wise that you never have to call on them for help ever again.
Okay, so after touring this huge, incredibly detailed cosmic map, from warring demigods to heavens of instant gratification, what's the point of it all? What does any of this actually mean for you? Or for me?
Well, this whole system proposes a pretty radical idea, that you can know your own destiny. You don't need a prophet or a priest to tell you where you're going. All you have to do is look honestly inside yourself.
And here's the crucial point. Your destination isn't decided by some divine judge in the sky. It's determined by the gravitational pull of your own mind. What do you really, truly, deeply desire? Is it physical pleasure and connection? Well, then you're headed for somewhere in the realm of desire. Is it abstract, philosophical thought? Then maybe the higher realm of form. Your deepest longing is your compass, and it's pointing directly to your next reality.
But this is where we get the final, absolutely stunning twist in this whole Buddhist map of the cosmos. The goal isn't to win the game and make it to the highest, most blissful heaven. The goal is to stop playing the game altogether. Because even that most amazing heaven is still just a temporary state. It's still part of the endless cycle of birth and death. True liberation means getting off the board entirely.
And that leaves us with a really profound final thought to chew on. So many of our myths and religions are filled with stories about journeys, a journey to a promised land, to paradise, to a glorious afterlife. But this worldview, it presents this incredibly detailed map of all possible destinations, and then suggests that true freedom isn't about reaching the best one. It's about realizing you don't have to go anywhere at all.